Welcome to a gorgeous Saturday morning at Trinity Evangelical Church in Watseka and the Iroquois Coalition for Change doing a fundraiser today.
We represent the Iroquois Coalition for Change to try to address the drug and opioid epidemic that we're having in our area. We are raising funds to bring Tim Ryan here, who is a nationally known speaker, to share his story and to give tools then of what to do to protect our children.
I got to man the grill, but I had walking taco for the first time. That was pretty amazing. The dogs are good, you know. I've struggled with addiction most of my life from growing up. My parents were both addicts, and I was 11 when I started, and I was 34 when I quit, so it was a long career in that. I know personally is it breaks down families, and it breaks them down in an awful way. It breaks your moral compass down and allows you to do things that normally you wouldn't do.
It's something that just can be a devastating thing, and we're seeing that in our own community ourselves.
There's always been a drug issue, not just in Watseka, Iroquois County, Illinois. There's always been a drug issue everywhere in the United States. Cocaine, crack cocaine. Watseka, Iroquois County was involved with the uptake of meth there for a while. Now, unfortunately, it's a heroin epidemic that's going on nationwide that is affecting us now too.
Everyone should care about the opioid epidemic. The number of deaths are growing faster than car accidents, faster than Illinois homicides. Only about a third of those are actually heroin overdose deaths. The other 2/3 are people who have overdosed on pain medicines, opioid pain medicines. When we're talking about opioids, we're not just talking about heroin, we're also talking about people who are addicted to pills, and it's a growing problem. If you don't know someone that's addicted to opioids and we don't get this problem taken care of, I guarantee within the next few years you will know someone.
Nobody feels worse about themselves than the addict. Nobody hates whatever they're addicted to more than the addict, but they can't stop. But when a person gains the strength to be able to overcome that is so empowering to those people. Those are the people that go on and live incredibly productive lives. And many of the original treatment methods were really trying to downrate, degrade and everything else in an individual. What's wrong with you? Why would you do this? We don't take that approach here at all. We take a completely different approach. There is hope.
It's all about not pointing a finger, but instead finding solutions and talking about the problem. That word yesterday from Tim Ryan, a recovered heroin addict, who now delivers words of wisdom to families, individuals, students, and community leaders about the drive to rehabilitate and find solutions to community drug problems.
Everyone that struggles with substance abuse has some underlying form of trauma.
My solution to everything was drugs and alcohol for 30 years and lived a life of utter hell and torment, and I didn't know how to ask for help. My addiction caused so much damage to the people closest to me. My kids, my wife, our house. I needed to lose everything. You ask any heroin addict if they'd go back, they would never have done it. They focus on, I need more to feel better, I need more to feel better. And when you're in such a desperate situation and you've lost your home or your family and you're living on the streets or you're surfing a sofa here, you're stealing, there is nowhere but to go up. But they gotta drop the shovel, and that's where I really come in.
Put your hand up if you got a friend that smokes weed. Put your hand up so we can see it. Put your hand up if you got a friend that drinks alcohol. Now put your hand up if you know of a family member, loved one, or friend that's died from a drug overdose. That's a third of the people sitting in here right now.
I had a lot of things in life, but I was never happy. But it took me to be in a prison cell hoping to get a visit, hoping a mail call that I'm gonna get a letter from my wife or kids. I made a choice to turn my life around and never look back, and walked out for the first time in my life, 13 and a half months clean and sober. And then the parents' worst nightmare, my 20-year-old son, Nicholas, died from a heroin overdose. Unfortunately, in my son's passing, Nick has really set the stage for what I do today. When people getting into the opiate game, you have two choices. You will get sober or you will die. You might pass jail, stop for a little bit, but that's your two choices.
That's $1 million question, is what can we do to help? You know, we've got our officers going through, I can't tell you how much training and interacting with the public and drug awareness and drug addiction and carrying the Narcan now too, you know, to help and save these people's lives. But it starts kind of with the person themselves. You know, you can offer these services and you can offer the help all you want. Until that person's ready to make that choice and go forward with it and stick with it, it's hard when somebody is out at the jail, for instance, and they can't get access to it, and what they go through. It's bad. It's hard physically on them, it's hard emotionally on them, and so they'll continue to manage their addiction with the heroin by smaller doses and this and that, and it just doesn't work. It just continues that trend of being addicted to it.
The people that I've seen that have done the best have said, starting tomorrow, I am not going to use it, and I'm going to do whatever I have to do to keep myself from making it happen. Stop it. Just totally stop it, because you really can't control it.
When they're ready to make that choice and say, I'm tired of this isn't the way that I want to do, they need to know that there's somebody there that's willing to help them, that there's resources there to help them.
If that person has a heartbeat, there is hope. They may have to go to rehab numerous times before they recover. But people do recover, and they do lead happy, productive lives again. So don't give up on them.
I had a friend of mine that had been to a number of treatment centers. He's 22 years sober now, and he said, you know, outside all the clinicians and therapists and doctors, I just needed one person to believe in me, so I could drop the mask and start getting honest.
There's always hope, and there are people in the community who care. And if you reach out to the health department, I'll make phone calls for you. Don't feel like you're alone, because people will help.
The community here, they're on top of this. And the Celebrate Recovery group and the people at the health department, you have some true leaders here that are saying enough, and it takes people to become a big, loud voice to make change.
It's an entire community. It takes everybody to work together to deal with it.